Beast Wars. Running from 1996 and as late as 2001, this was my childhood line. Yes, I have a lot of nostalgia for the bombastic Generation 2, but this is the line where I started getting the figures myself. Because of this, Beast Wars will always have a special place in my heart, and I want to share that with all of you. So welcome to Beast Wars Backtrack. Hello everyone, and welcome to another Beast Wars Backtrack. I'm your host, Roz13, and today we are looking at the 10th anniversary version of Tarantulus. Or as the box likes to call it, Predacon Tarantulus. I guess at this point they somehow lost the copyright or trademark to the name, or legal was like, no, you gotta put Predacon on it. I don't know. Anyway, before we take a look at the actual toy, let's take a look at the box itself. So to start off, we got Transformers Beast Wars with the G1 Transformers logo there, and the 10th anniversary logo there, DVD included. That's right, this comes with Spider's Game, which while it does feature Tarantulus and Black Arachnia rather prominently, it's actually the origin episode for Inferno, interestingly enough. This one is number 6 and comes with the 6th and final part of Transmutate, which, yes, we will get to him eventually. So here we have a cool illustration of Tarantulus. I don't know if he was as green in the TV show, but the color scheme is an attempt to make him look a little bit more like he does in the show. Though what's funny is with this illustration, they did a lot to make him look a little bit more mechanical here, while even the show kind of made this look a little bit more organic. Interesting. Anyway, on the back, we have product shots of Transmutate. This comes with the left leg. And then we have product shots of Tarantulus in his robot mode and his spider mode. And hey, it comes with a grappling hook with more than 10 inches of string. And the legs can convert into rockets for the pistols. And we got a bio. It says, Predacon Tarantulus is the very soul of treachery. As a Predacon spy, he has every intention of betraying and destroying Megatron when the time came. But now that he's been stranded on this stinking mudball planet, his agenda and ambition have grown. Access to the alien technology of the mysterious Vok has given him a taste of true power, which he will stop at nothing to claim as his own. And they don't mention it on this, but in the show, they actually imply that him and the Tripedicus Council have origins outside of the Cybertronian race. Megatron even makes a comment about him being a spawn of Unicron, which initially was just sort of an insult, but was later accepted as an actual canon thing, that they are somehow connected to the Bringer of Chaos himself. Interesting stuff. On this side, we have a just basic description of the Beast Wars TV show. And then on this side, we have a call out for Rat Trap, Dinobot, and the long defunct Transformers Collectors Club. Then over here, we have the top of the box with windows looking down into it. And yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at the figure itself. And here's Tarantulus in all his... Wait, where is he? Oh, there he is. Here is Tarantulus in all his spider spindly glory. And he's looking pretty cool. Had to have a little fun with there. One of the interesting features that this guy has is he does have a little string attached to his little missile grappling hook thing. You can actually store this away. Just see. There we go. Inside his butt. There we go. And you can sort of wrap that around if you want to get things stored a little bit better. But yeah, here he is. And he looks very cool. a lot more show accurate than the original, because if I remember correctly, the original toy, whoop, that's on a hair trigger. We'll just leave that like that. Was like bright translucent orange. So this guy is purple, but he's still using sort of a translucent plastic. And to be honest, it almost looks like it's still sort of like a translucent orange and they just sort of painted purple over it. But it's hard to say. But he looks really nice. Not a tarantula, but he was never really represented as one. That's just the name they used. But yeah, articulation-wise, these legs can move, but that's because they also function as missiles for his gun, which is stored right in here. And you can move these around a little bit for posing. These parts come undone quite easily, so that's a thing. But he looks suitably creepy, which is appropriate. But let's go ahead and get him transformed into robot mode. So to start off, we are going to carefully pull his feet and legs out, like so. This gold-looking plastic worries me a little bit, but I think it's just the green stuff painted, but after Dinobot, you can't blame me for being cautious. And then we are going to kind of spread these open, and there's his robot head. And now I'm going to flip this down, and you see we got pegs and sort of a slot here, but you got to kind of maneuver the head so that everything stays in place. And then rotate these around. This is an issue I have with the toy, and we'll get to that in a little bit. And there he is. And not too bad. Mainframe didn't take a whole lot of liberties with Tarantulus, other than I think they changed his proportions up a little bit. So he looks fairly show accurate. I don't know if this green was as accurate, but the head is pretty spot on. And he just looks really cool. One problem that I have, and this just goes back to even the original toy, I don't like how they did his hands. Yes, they're supposed to be these pincer-like things, but they really should be oriented this direction. But then you can't maneuver them correctly at the elbow joint. You can swap them around, but then they're backwards for the beast mode. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation there. So I just sort of leave them like that, maybe put them at the side or something, I don't know. It bugs me. It's always bugged me. I didn't have the original Tarantulus toy back in the day. I had Black Arachnia, who part of her broke at some point. I can't remember how exactly. I think I still have her somewhere. I just don't know where at. So again, no comparisons for this one, sadly. But let's go on to articulation. So his head is on a ball socket joint, and there is a hinge here where if you want, you can convert over to his other head. And you can barely see that with the lighting. It's very darkly colored. And interestingly enough, this is the head that they use for Black Arachnia. So that's kind of a neat thing. This, I think, also might have been the head that he was advertised with, at least on the packaging. Because originally they were trying to kind of sell him as like this ninja as opposed to a mad scientist. And this is a very ninja looking head. But I like his more... I think this actually is probably supposed to be his mutant head. And the other one is his robot head. But whatever. You still have the articulation here, so if you want, you can point these forward and pretend they are machine guns, like he did in the show. That was always cool. Got a ball socket joint with some nice range of movement at the shoulder. Got a ball socket joint at the elbow, which is also kind of his wrist because of the way they designed him. No waist articulation, but you do have a really nice high kick and a very deep knee bend. Can't kick back very well. And you got some toe pointing there. So, not the most spectacular thing we've seen, but it gets the job done. This is the line where they really started playing up ball socket joints. They had started playing with the concept in Generation 2, but this was the one where they really started pushing it. Accessory-wise, he has his gun, which can store in his back. So if you pull that out, you just have this empty space, but they did paint that silver in the inside, so that's a nice little touch. And then you can pop that in his hand. And if you want, you can load it up with this. And that's pretty cool. Or you can take one of these off and put it in there. I'm not going to do that, though, because I don't want to risk breaking anything. But yeah, very cool looking. If dark, at least on my camera. That firing mechanism is on a hair trigger, though. So I guess beware with that. But yeah, I think I could give this one a recommendation. I can't vouch for... Yeah, there we go. That's a problem there. And some of the lime green, I don't know if it's super show accurate or not, but he looks pretty darn cool. So I'd say if you're in the market for a Beast Wars toy, why not? And yeah, I think this has been one of the shorter ones, but this has been a review. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Check the description below for links to my storefront where you can get official shelf space t-shirts and more. And thanks again, and I'll see you next time you invade my shelf space.